you think the seed is going to be like today? Do you think it's going to be a jet seed, a troll seed, a guaranteed over 2 hours seed?
Well, all right, we got the Moon Pearl already and Sanctuary for Spooty, so that's a quick start. I think, I mean, really, I think no matter what we're gonna see from the seed itself, I hope we'll see some crazy stuff from both of these runners, since, as you said, they're both sadly and basically out of the tournament already. I hope they decide to maybe do some risky stuff or some interesting gambles.
Right. In contrast with the race from last night, which was a pretty climactic tiebreaker race, I would expect these guys to just pull off some very wacky strats instead of just sticking by the book and trying not to come in last. And it looks like bombs aren't going to be a problem for SpootyBiscuit, which is good. Also, Evanidus getting a bomb drop somewhere along the way in the Oko route. So both of our runners are going to be able to at least get through like part of Kakariko without having to visit the shop.
Yeah, with 5 bombs, Spooty should be pretty good. Evanidus probably gonna go for the bushes here south of the Grove.
Right. Well, unfortunately, that wasn't necessary because these bomb hoarders are being very generous right now.
Yeah, filling up SpootyBiscuit's bomb supply.
And
okay.
Right off the bat, we get the red cane, Cane of Samaria, aka Phantom Rio's cane. And half magic. That's gonna be a pretty interesting weapon, especially if they don't find a sword or hammer or anything for a little while.
Yeah, we've seen some very interesting Samaria strats before, and with half magic so early on, definitely feasible.
All right, this is my dream for this seed. Make it a early Lanmo seed, and make it have no other weapons until that point.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
The Red Cane Lanmo fight, I don't think I've ever seen it. I personally never had to do it.
I think the block really makes it easier than it sounds. So well, okay, so there's a bow then.
So rip my dream, unfortunately.
Yep.
So I assume both of these runners, especially with that lamp in hand, are going to be heading over to Eastern very soon.
This is very interesting so far.
So unfortunately, Evanidus is going to have to use his bomb hut, not knowing that all the bombs he's ever needed are north of Kakariko.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate for him here time-wise. At least he doesn't go into the shop and waste money there to buy bombs and then realizes he gets free ones later on.
Yeah, that, and we already have a 300 rupee drop on Spooty's side, so Evanidus is kind of taking the wrong path here.
Yeah, Just a piece of heart.
Yeah, a bow and a lamp. That's pretty much, I guess, all we're seeing here in Kakariko, pointing directly towards Eastern Palace and Armos. We do know Eastern Palace is a pendant, and not even the green pendant, but at this stage in the game, you don't really care if it's pendant or crystal.
Yeah, and I mean, at this rate, you're really expecting to find something there. Either there or Sahasrala's hut. Do you think these guys will check Eastern first with all the equipment before they go to the south side?
I would, just because I can. But there's like a really good reason to go to South Shore, and it comes in the form of that Light World Hype Cave. Not to mention the 2 items in the dam, the Ice Rod Cave. These guys have the Moon Pearl, so if they really wanted to, they could fake Flipper, do Hobo, and if they get a few hundred more rupees, or even through the Houlihan room, they could do Zora as well, and the Waterfall Cave.
Yeah, they have a lot of stuff open in them right now, that's for sure.
Though SpootyBiscuit is not opting to get the safety money through Houlihan and opting just to go directly to the dam.
Yeah, kind of going for the standard route here. I don't really blame him. As you said, there's a lot of items to find down here.
So just a piece of heart in the dam proper. Let's see what's in the puddle outside. Evanidus getting a bit trolled by a bush guard right there.
I hate these guys.
Yeah, I think that should be a setting, Vitor. Just put that on the docket. Turn off bush guards, please. Or make it determined by the seed, like the Aga and Ganon RNG.
Oh man. Alright, are we gonna see some cane strats here? Maybe the bow? Oh, looks like bombs.
I'm a bit surprised that we're seeing bomb strats. A lot of runners these days like to throw one bomb to the left, and then even if they have a weapon, and then like switch to the other weapon and go to town on the rest of the mini Moldorms.
Yeah.
Well, looks like we can finally complete the game. We have our single arrow, so these guys aren't going to be sweating trying to find that. Well, Evanidus is opting to go directly downstairs in the castle.
Yeah, and Spooty opts to make the way over to Ice Rock Cave. Gets a little bit trolled by the bird.
So I am a bit surprised that neither of these runners decided to go directly to Eastern. But again, as we were saying before, this is basically a race for fun at this point. I mean, all the races are races for fun, let's be real here. There's no prize at stake but honor and fame. But yeah, these guys are doing pretty non-standard stuff with the items they've been given.
Yeah, it looks like despite being able to go into Eastern and even finish it if they want to or have to, it looks like they don't want to deviate too much from, you know, how they're used to playing these open mode seeds.
Spooty is getting getting hounded by these crabs.
Just gatekeeping here, no worries.
That was like the trolliest crab I've ever seen.
Oh no, poor Evanidus.
That's like one of the worst feelings in Randomizer. So Evanidus, let's see, does Evanidus go into the dark room? Nope, just go into the South Shore. Spooty, on the other hand, doesn't have Zora money, unfortunately. Probably will end up checking what's on the ledge, but won't be able to grab it.
Yeah, still, it's good information to have if you have to come back here once you get the flippers or not.
You know, I learned today that you can actually get the Zora Ledge item without the flippers if you have the boots. With the water walk glitch. I thought that wasn't possible, but I guess it is.
Yeah, apparently so. Oh, there's a glove on Lake Hylia Island. So I'm gonna assume that will be the Titan's mitts by the time we get to it.
Most likely. It is possible that the seed could get them there without a glove upgrade, but pretty unlikely. Evanidus winning a bit of my heart by using Cane strats in here. And Spooty is finally making the Eastern Palace play.
Yeah, it's about time, as we were saying.
So we see our first bottle behind Sahasrara. That's good.
Yeah, that's a nice find. That opens up Sick Kid, and it was also Blue Goo, if I saw that right.
Yeah, getting a blue potion early on is really nice. It's pretty easy to get in way over your head going into a dungeon that you probably can't complete with the items you have. Like, not from like a logic perspective, but from like, I don't know, Fighter Sword Vitreous perspective. So having that blue goo on hand eases a little bit of that angst.
Yeah, absolutely. Some safeties never hurt, even for the best of runners. An early big key in here in Eastern, that means he won't have to make all the way around back to the big chest if he doesn't have to.
Yeah, hopefully it's the God Eastern Palace. That's everything I ever hope for in Eastern Palace. And Evanidus also notably does not have the 500 rupees for Zora. So neither of our runners are going to be visiting Zora for quite a while unless, the progression kind of stops.
Yeah.
Because from what they have right now, pretty much the only things that have been unlocked are Eastern, like the entirety of Eastern and the Dark Sewer in the castle.
Yeah, without a glove, without hammer, without the flippers. I mean, I can fake flipper as they have done here, but maybe a book. Well, there's a glove.
Yep. So that does get them access to the mountain, so that's good. But without a mirror or a hook shot, there's not much else it gets them right now. Except it does get them to the back of Escape.
It opens up a few new locations. It also means we now know, as we said earlier, that the one on Lake Hylia is Titansmith's, and at least Spooty, and I think Evanidus too, already know where they can find it.
So did Spooty find all three items? Was it the God Eastern Palace? I'm not sure.
That's a good question. I don't think he did.
And it's especially troublesome because it is a pendant. We do find our first sword here in the back of Escape along with a small key. I'm not entirely sure if they found the map yet, so Spooty might be running into a bit of a trap here. Anyway, it is a pendant. We don't know whether or not this is a pedestal seed. Obviously, chat wants every seed to be a pedestal seed, but the reality is it's like, what, a 6% chance that a seed is pedestal required?
Yeah, something like that.
So even if Spooty did get all the items, there's that chance that Spooty's going to have to go back in there. So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not Evanidus decides to go all the way to Armos. But Spooty is following the logic, and the logic states right now, I got a glove, I got the lamp, where should I go? And the answer is probably the mountain, because that opens up 2 items which isn't many, but you know, it also opens up a save and quit location on the mountain itself, which is really good to have, especially if the flute is like way down the line.
Yeah, absolutely. That save and quit spot is nothing to scoff at. And really, as you were saying, this is by the logic and really his best play right now. There's still a Gina cave, but that's kind of out of the way, especially with the items that he's found. We'll have to see what he gets out of here.
Just a sewing kit from the old man, unfortunately. Let's see what's inside Spectacle Rock. Evanidus also opting to not bother with Armos.
Yeah, but it was indeed the Godmire.
I think with the bow in hand and the lamp, I would have definitely gone to Armos, but I can understand why you wouldn't want to do that. So what do we have? We have Sick Kid, we have Zora, we have Agina, and then we have... I think that's it, right?
I think that about covers it for right now, yeah.
We do not yet have Aghanim access. We are one item away from both Dark World access and Aghanim access. And Sick Kid is a bit of a troll today, just giving us the ability to carry more bombs. And some might consider it a curse.
Well, and this is going to be the Agina check, I'm assuming. And after this, well, I guess Spooty can grab the rupees on his way over there.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Pretty good routing on Spooty's side. Personally, I still think it would have been best if Spooty or Evanidus had actually done like Houlihan strats before they did the South Shore, and then they wouldn't be in this mess to begin with. But
yeah, that double visit up to Zora feels kind of, unnecessary, but I guess they were hoping Zora wouldn't be the one place where they had to go to. What I'm curious about right now is what if Spooty gets like the Master Sword out of Agina's cave right now? Does he still check Zora or does he go straight to Aga?
I'd take it as a sign, honestly.
Yeah,
I would go directly to Aghanim. So yeah, the what's in this cave determines whether or not I was a bit of a liar earlier about not checking Zora.
Oh man.
Though I did qualify it with the as long as progression doesn't dry up, they won't be going back to Zora. However,
Well,
Spooty still has to do that dark room. I think. Oh no, Spooty didn't go this way at all.
I think he did the dark room from the back, but I'm not sure if he went down to Zelda's cell yet.
Yeah. I was wondering why he was a bit ahead of Evanidus. But I guess that's the account of it. So where does Evanidus go from here? Spooty's going to be mired in the castle for a little while.
I think It's Evanidus' time to make his way up Death Mountain.
Oh, he just did that, I believe.
Oh, did he just come from there? Okay.
Yeah, he's going to be going into Sick Kid. He's going to be very disappointed by the ability to carry a bit more bombs. And probably head either to Zora or Agina's Cave. Again, there really aren't many options at the moment.
What is that kid doing with that bomb upgrade?
What is
Not
this
even
kid
bombs,
doing
it's
with
just
half the crap he has?
Yeah, okay. You make a good point, but the upgrades especially are like, why do you have a bigger quiver in your bed?
I want you to have my last nickel. It's incredibly crucial.
You must take this. Alright, and Evanidus also opted to grab the same pile of rupees here. I don't think it's going to be enough for Evanidus. There's like 50 or something in here, right?
Yeah, 50 every time you go in here. So Evanidus will probably be doing it again.
So to me, this probably means these guys are gonna arrive up at Zora at the same time, right? Because that's the last location both of them can check. No, wait, Evanidus is on his way over to Agina's first.
Yeah, Spooty's going to be a little bit ahead with a bit more efficient routing. But definitely not much gap at this point. I mean, it's only like 20 minutes into the race, so I wouldn't really expect there to be, a huge rift between the racers.
Yeah, and I mean, considering we are just 22 minutes into the race, and these guys already have half magic and red mail and like, I don't know, 8 hearts or something? 9 hearts? 9 hearts.
Yeah, this has been a very healthy and safe seed, but not a very fast one in terms of progression. So what do you think is going to be there? There's a bunch of things that could be there, but in terms of like crucial progression, we have the hammer, we have the mitts, we have the cape, and we have a sword upgrade.
Well, we know where the mitts are.
Oh right, okay, so it can't be
for the sake of the runners, I hope it's the hammer, but it will probably be the cape or the master sword, is my guess.
So it's what, a 2/3 chance that it's Eiger required, more or less. I mean, there could be other items, intermediary. We could find the hook shots, we could find the boots.
Yeah, we could find a fetch quest.
Yeah.
You could also get a book, maybe?
That wouldn't be fun. I don't...
A book and then something on the torch, but you can get one item out of desert that keeps you going, so you have to double dip it and stuff like that. It could be bad.
These runners are gonna be like in their deathbed with the IV drip of items in their arms. Oh my goodness.
No, and that's even worse than the Master Sword. With the Master Sword, at least you get an attack upgrade, but with this, you're just... Well, you have your fighter sword.
On the plus side, with the bow in hand, they're going to be able to full clear Palace of Darkness outside of the boss itself.
That is very true. So, of course, this also now begs the question, where, or rather, what do you think will be on the pyramid?
I don't think anything good is gonna be on the pyramid.
Yeah, it'll probably be like 3 bombs or something, right?
Now, Catfish, on the other hand, might have something great. And Palace of Darkness could be like a huge red herring.
Oh, that would be crazy. Alright, Spooty going for the bow strats here. I like that. A lot more convenient than the fighter sword.
Yeah, these guys are those ball and chain guards with the fighter sword 8 hits no matter what. With the bow, 4 hits, but it's a bit faster.
Alright, so the difference here is only a couple of rooms.
Yep, Evanidus also using bow strats, thankfully. Even doing bow strats in these, I don't even know what to call them, like, really into their job nights.
I feel like, I don't know, they're holding the sword so far up that it's like they're trying to, you know, they're not trying to poke you with it, they're like stabbing you from above. Like an overhead stab. It's just weird.
I know, like, it's been something other people have said, but it's just really amusing the fact that there are just guards randomly patrolling these pitch black rooms. It's like... Did they, like, draw straws? Like, short straws to go in the pitch black room all day?
No, they've been, you know, brainwashed by the evil wizard and stuff like that. You don't question running around in a dark room if you're brainwashed.
So Spooty is going to be entering AGA 1 at about 27 minutes. Evanidus is... I honestly don't know how many floors behind. Like, this entire tower. It's just, like, my brain turns off during it.
Yeah, I can totally understand that, and I also have no idea. I don't even know how many floors it is in total.
So how many blue balls are we going to be seeing here? I don't know. I actually haven't been counting. Spooty's having a little bit fun with that Canis Amaria. Unfortunately, does not damage Aghanim. I don't think it. I don't think it reflects shots either.
That would be pretty dope. Evanidus getting super trolled by the guard here.
Yeah, and Chad is pointing out neither of these runners have money to enter Palace of Darkness.
Oh yeah.
So that's gonna either hit these guys like a ton of bricks, or they already know and just really hate the seed.
I wouldn't be surprised. Alright, here goes the pyramid for Spooty as Evanidus is entering his Agafied. Let's see what we got.
Come on, Spooty, get some money. 300 on the ledge!
300 bucks. There we go.
So there's our money. We don't need it. We don't need to worry. We have Palace of Darkness, the entry fee. You know?
Alright, so here comes the big red herring that we're talking about, right?
Yep, and Spooty is not falling for the catfish bait. But, we'll see what's there at some point, I bet.
Yeah, I'm sure. Depending on what they find in here, as in pod.
So let's see if Evanidus actually decides to pick up the money. Yes!
Yeah, definitely. Alright, so both of our runners deciding to go to pod instead of checking the Quakefish first.
Yeah.
Probably the wiser choice, as you were saying earlier. Just a lot more potential items in here. Also, we got a small key, so we are not bow locked. Not that these guys would be.
So in terms of like general routing, I like to view items as like clumps, and Catfish, the only real clump it can be a part of is like the Zora check. You know, like you could potentially get Mirror and then do Catfish and then do Zora. The only problem is we already did Zora, so there's no reason to do that.
Yeah.
So that's why I would like to see one of these runners actually doing Catfish before going into the Palace of Darkness, because they're not really going to have much reason to head in that direction otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a good play, especially considering that that your opponent might be doing the pod play as everyone would be expecting at this point, so you might actually get a big advantage out of it.
Yep, Spooty is setting up a Death Warp on the anti-fairies. It's weird to set it up there, honestly, because the spikes in this upcoming conveyor belt room, like those spikes also do 1 heart of damage no matter what.
I like how he picks up another heart.
That, I don't know if like that was Spooty just remembering something, like, oh yeah, these spikes exist, or if he was just an autopilot. So we do have a bit of route divergence, because Spooty decided to go to the bow blocked side, while Evanidus is taking a more traditional route through the palace. And one positive thing about death warping in this dungeon is that I think pretty much any route you take that would end up in you wanting to death warp has an easy way to die. Like the Kodongos inside the Dark Maze, those always do 1 heart via either their fire breath or like actually just bodying you. And the spike traps next to the jellyfish room, those also do 1 heart.
Alright, so far we've only seen keys and a big key. So we should be getting into the items now with Spooty.
Yep, Spooty is debating us a bit. Looked like he was going for that chest, but nope. We're doing it once we go back upstairs. Oh look, more keys.
What? Come on, that means Helma has an item, right? At this point?
I don't know. I don't think we've seen
only...
both.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Okay. That's a good one.
I bet Spooty's kicking himself a little bit now that he has that mirror in hand.
There's a compass? Oh, I think, yeah, there's definitely an item on Helmasaur.
Well, we'll be back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright, there's a Swagmat that Spooty has skipped so far.
So, the mirror, what does it open up for us? Honestly, not a whole lot. It opens up Hera.
That's about it.
Yeah. We will be getting our mitts once we find the flippers, though. So I'm really wondering if... Nope, Spooty is not gonna go to Catfish. Which is kind of weird, honestly, but... hey, I'm not racing.
Probably forgot that he had all the requirements to stay in the Dark World when he saves and quits in the Dark World there. Had to mirror back from the pyramid first.
So Spooty taking the only path available to him outside of Catfish. And we'll see, we do have a fire source, which means we can full clear Hera if need be. Hera has 2 items. Catfish has 1, you know. The odds, I think, place Catfish clearly as the advantageous location.
Yep, that checks out. Alright, we got blue pendant in Ice and green pendant at Thieves Town. I also spotted crystals 5 and 6, but I'm not sure where.
Hera is one of the important crystals, which is worthy of note. We do find the big key right away, so we might not be staying Hera basement, but again, we have the lamp, we can do it.
Yeah, unless we find the 2 items in here on the way up.
So Evanidus is also not opting to check out Catfish, and Spooty takes a fall here in that first beetle room.
Alright, makes it through this time. These guys are still pretty neck and neck, really, especially with that fall that Spooty just took. Even that little bit of time helped Evanidus catch up a little here. He just needs some mirror back, basically.
So far, nothing good in Hera. There are 3 more locations.
Yeah, this and Moldorm will decide. No basement required. This seed is really not giving these guys a break.
It's like... Why? Why would you do this game?
It's just making it as slow as possible to progress anywhere.
Now, if we find something like the hammer on Moldorm, do you think these guys will skip Hera basement?
Maybe. I wouldn't. Not this early on. Or with the items that I have, but maybe.
This is also a more or less vanilla Helmasaur, or not Helmasaur, Moldorm, because we don't have any way of damaging it more than 1 damage a hit. And it takes 6 hits normally, and we can't even skip that last phase where he goes a bit berserk. Just...
man.
Take those rupees and go throw them in the Catfish circle, stone circle.
It's really gonna be the Catfish, isn't it? I mean, really, at this point. I mean, I'm sure there's something in Hera basement, but geez, come on.
Yeah, we do have the lamp in hand, which is probably like the 5th time I've said that. I hope I didn't do the commentary curse when I said that Catfish is probably gonna end up being required, and that Palace of Darkness was a more or less a red herring.
Well, I mean, at this point, you're 1 chest away from either confirming or not confirming that theory.
It really is 50-50.
Alright, let's see, getting out the lamp. Evanidus, meanwhile, having some trouble here falling.
Oh, finally.
A hook shot. Okay, at least he's already up here.
Yep.
So this isn't another huge trek across land.
So the hook shot opens up quite a bit, actually. It opens up East Death Mountain, which is where Spooty's going right now. Spooty won't be able to do Dark Death Mountain until we find the flippers, because we know the mitts are on that hilly island. The hookshot also opens up pretty much the rest of the Dark World.
Yeah, definitely. They have to go the long way around, but they have access to, well, as you say, pretty much everything at this point.
Seeds, I think the seeds sentient. Just give it a little bit of love to Spooty there. Both chests right after we got the hookshot.
I think it's kind of an interesting way the seed has worked out, where it really funneled them into like 1 or 2 location spots where they really couldn't go anywhere else. And now with a hookshot, they found an item that basically gives them access to, well, more or less everything. They still need that hammer to really get around, I'd say. But yeah.
This could be one of those seeds where you end up having to go across that river like multiple times without ever getting that hammer.
Ugh.
And Paradox Cave is giving us like nothing.
Nope, absolutely nothing in there.
Let's see what's inside this spiral cave. Neither of these runners will be able to have boots doing it.
Yeah, the slow walk. At least they have the hookshot though, so they don't have to wait for these jellies to be annoying. It could also, what I just thought of, be the hammer at the Pyramid Ferry. Well,
no.
Actually, not with Swampy and the crystal.
Yeah, it also can't be flippers with Swamp there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we've eluded some of the trolls. Spooty is going to be going directly to West Dark World.
Though now that he has to go up there anyways, I'm curious to see if he makes the way over to Quakefish.
That is a good question.
Because, I mean, at what other point would be a good time to route it in?
Well, he just switched to hookshot, so
Yeah.
I think we're not going to be seeing it. I really, really don't agree with this play, but I respect the play. And honestly, I think Evanidus will probably do catfish, unless I'm gonna get you baited.
You're just hoping at this point. You know he won't do it.
Hera could very easily be there, please. Or even something like not necessarily required, but really good, like the boots.
Yeah, I mean, they could be. Oh, denying that shield, that could come back for Spooty. You don't want to incur the wrath of the shields. This is actually not too bad from a routing perspective for Spooty, because now he can also check the bumper cave with the cape. Maybe start out in Skull Woods if he wants to.
Yeah, but unfortunately, without the boots, it's not going to be the really nice, what is it, like Northern Dark World / Light World cleanup.
Yeah.
That you can often get if you have the boots and mirror. So, unsurprisingly, Spooty is opting to go directly to Skull Woods and doing kind of a sort of reverse cleanup here. We don't have the fire rods, so the last two items, including the one on Mothula, aren't available just yet. But if this is the big key, it can save a bit of time.
Yeah, if you're doing this backwards, you're really just hoping to find the big key somewhere here.
Or 5 rupees, that's pretty crucial too.
Definitely need those.
Evanidus is taking the catfish bait, which I like.
You're finally getting your wish rule.
This could be crucial if Catfish has something, and in my personal, unbiased experience, Catfish has something crucial 98.8%
What do you mean it could be?
of the time.
I mean, with all the attention you've been giving that fish, at this point it will be, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we do get the big key here in the front side of Skull Woods, which is nice, but we also find the Master Sword, so making that big key pretty much useless.
Yeah, that's what you get for tossing those 300 rupees from Moldorm in there.
You know, I wish we didn't have the 300 rupees on the pyramid now.
Oh man, yeah. That would have been great. Oh, and there's the boots for Spooty in the C-shaped house.
Yeah, what are those?
No idea.
Which is really good for doing Thieves Town. Thieves Town benefits pretty greatly from the boots.
Yeah, Thieves Town being the green pendant also has an extra item with whatever Sahasralam might give you. I'm not sure how much Spooty wants to go into a pendant dungeon.
Yeah. And another layer on top of that is we don't have the hammer just yet. Unless the chess game has hammer, Spooty needs to decide to either hope we're going to get easy Dark World access so we can get to, Thieves Town again if we need to via Kakariko, or just dive right in and go there without a hammer.
Looks like he's leaving.
Yep, we're probably going to be checking both the King's Grave and Bonk Rocks.
Oh yeah, okay, why not?
I actually really like this play by Spooty.
Yeah, I mean, it's good routing. I like getting these out of the way as soon as you can, and since you just found the boots, what better time to do it, really?
Mm-hmm. And what if this right here are the flippers, which it really isn't, because everyone knows it's a big 20. Like, if those were flippers and Evanidus skipped out on doing exactly what Spooty just did, that would have, I think, put Spooty squarely in the lead for quite a while.
Yeah.
It's a little bit inefficient to route in, but I think the potential payoff was worth it.
Yeah, and it's not too far out, especially with those boots, so... Unfortunately, not quite what he was looking for, but at least he won't have these on the back of his mind the whole race.
And Chad is pointing out that through the water walking glitch, we could potentially sequence break the flippers and just go and grab those mitts.
Yeah, that is very true.
Personally, I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to do that. And I think the only place we can reasonably set up the water walk in the Dark World is Skull Woods. But don't quote me on that.
I think the problem really more is like, alright, you can get the mitts and that'll open up this more sequence-broken places, but you'll need the flippers for Swamp anyways, at some point. So you'd expect to, run across them reasonably early on. At least not in a location where you need the mitts.
So
saving some time here.
Yeah, Evanidus is going to be entering Village of Outcasts pretty soon, and we'll be seeing if he does more or less the same thing Spooty does. I honestly don't expect Evanidus to run off and do, the Bonk Rocks and Kingsgrave, but what I'm more concerned about is if Evanidus is going to go into Thieves Town.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's an interesting decision. It's available right there, and it is one of those dungeons that's always available reasonably early on, at least when you can get into the Dark World at least. But it being an independent dungeon makes it less attractive, and not having the hammer makes it even less attractive.
Have you been keeping track of items in Thieves Town? I certainly haven't. I'd love to know whether or not we're in danger of the big chest having an item.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, to be honest.
So Evan goes directly into Thieves Town. So any advantage Spooty gets from doing this dungeon is gonna be squashed. However, Thieves Town is the green pendant, and there have been many races where racers have forgotten to turn in the pendant for quite a while.
Yeah, it's definitely something, especially if you do this early on, where you're like, alright, I'll do it later when I'm back over there for pot or something. And by the time you get back over there, you've completely forgotten about that green pendant that you picked up 52 minutes in.
And that exact same thing happened to me in a race once, and the real reason that I personally forgot about the green pendant was because I spent so much time in a Dark World because I didn't have the ability to quickly get into Dark World.
Mm-hmm.
And that's more or less like this scenario, because without the hammer, without the mitts, the only way to get back into Western Dark World is the way they're going. So Spooty might even go into Swamp Palace and do Hype Cave. I guess that's about it. The point is that there's a lot of stuff that's happening in between getting the green pendant and being able to turn in the green pendant. And it's pretty easy to forget about.
Alright, we're gonna see the digging game here from Spooty, and then he's gonna go over to Stumpy, probably check that mirror spot down there by the Grove. And then, yeah, I would expect the Hype Cave and maybe even a Swamp, as you were saying. Without the hammer, this is really his only way to get in there right now, but without the flippers, can't really get very far.
What is Spooty drawing?
I'm not sure. He's definitely hoping that he doesn't need many more digs for this, because otherwise, there we go.
AY, kind of, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Also, Evanidus notably skipped a key in that spike room. So that might actually come back to bite him. Though, if Evanidus actually ends up coming back here for whatever reason, it's not like it. You're gonna have to go to that room anyway. It's not like it matters.
Alright, so here comes the hype cave while Evanidus is starting up his blind fight.
Yeah, and not having the book, we also aren't able to check the Bombos tablet, which is going to deprioritize checking it.
Mm-hmm. Alright, there's the flippers. That's a good start. That means Titans it means a lot more stuff is open to them now.
That's incredibly good, because Spooty's right in the area to pick up those mitts. And all the people in chat who were suggesting Waterwalk are foiled.
Your plan has been foiled. Yeah, this is pretty much exactly the item Spooty was looking for here. Grabbing the Titan's mitts immediately, which means a lot more stuff is open to him now. Well, is it a lot though?
Not really a lot just yet. We don't have a hammer, so we can't get to Turtle Rock. We don't have a Fire Rod or Bombos, so we can't get inside Ice Palace. We don't have a flute, so we can't get to Mire. The only things that are really open by these mitts are the dwarf stuff, like the Dwarf Peg Cave, Purple Chest, and East Death Mountain, or East Dark Death Mountain.
Well, I mean, that's quite a few locations at least.
Yeah. With the hookshot in hand, too, Dark Death Mountain gives us, what, 6 items? And the Dwarf Peg Cave, Purple Chest, that'll gives us 3 more.
I do support Epi in chat, by the way. Hammer and first chest of Swamp.
That, like, we kid, right? We kid about the seeds, you know, being sentient and trolling people actively, but I think that would be evidence for, like, the first, you know, hateful seed. It just really doesn't want you to play it.
Yeah, it just makes it as long as possible.
But Spooty is taking the odds in hand, getting those 6 chests here in East Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah, I like this play, I have to say. Grabbing everything here, getting the information of which medallion you'll eventually need to get in Turtle Rock, being able to do Hookshot Cave.
Did Evan just skip flippers?
Oh man, did he really? Please.
I wasn't paying it. I was more paying attention to the Death Mountain play.
Yeah, I was too, to be fair, but...
Oh no, he jumped off the cave south of the Grove.
Oh...
That is terrible, because he now has to go all the way back. And Evan took the green pendant back. Didn't really get much of anything for it, except for some love, it looked like.
There's the hammer. First chest of Hookshot Cave here.
Alright, the hammer in Swamp Palace, quote-unquote, dream is dead.
Boo,
but
by the way.
What's that?
I said boo, by the way.
Boo. Evanidus is gonna not be feeling very good about that. Although, it does give him the chance to check King's Tomb here, as well as the Bonk Rocks. We know that doesn't really lead to anything, but it's gonna be, you know, 2 fewer items to check. Spooty's also going directly to Spike Cave, which I really like.
Yeah, he's just getting all the Death Mountain stuff out of the way as much as he can. Of course, the tablet still being up here, there we might see him back up here. But as of right now, with that hammer in hand, that opens up a bunch more things. He can finish a pod now. He can definitely get into swamp now, and that opens up the pyramid fairy. And it looks like Spooty's immediately going back to pod to finish off Helmasaur. I think Helmasaur still has an item.
Yeah, and now that we have tempered and the hammer and boots, this dungeon's not really gonna get much faster. So might as well just do it now.
Yeah, definitely just getting it out of the way here. Really, I'm trying to think, where else could he go other than pod? I guess swamp.
Yeah, we could do swamp, we could do the smith stuff. But
yeah,
I think swamp is the better play. Evanidus is finally going to be seeing what's inside this hype cave. Finding the key to the seed, as it were.
Not going to be too happy about that. I assume, at least. Of course he's going to be happy to have them, but could have had them much earlier. Unless Spooty is waiting for one of the longest wall moving animations ever seen in a game.
Evanidus has taken the bait for Swamp Palace. And that's not gonna... I don't think that's gonna end very well. I mean, you could find something here, but it's not gonna be Hammer. And if it's something really bad, it could send him on a wild goose chase.
That is a little bit unfortunate, but I'm sure he remembers that the myths are on the Highway Island, so that will probably also lead him up Death Mountain, I'd assume.
I would hope so.
I think this is a surprising choice for a gamble, because you can't really check anything here without a hammer.
Well, you can check one thing.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, what are the chances?
It's happened to me.
It could be. I mean, I might be eating my words in a second here.
The seed.
Man. These 300s are placed so strategically. I'm really loving it.
Sorry about the seed. Have some money. So Evanidus does remember the myths, thankfully. So where does Evanidus go? Will we be seeing the dwarf stuff, or will we be seeing East Death Mountain? Honestly, it seems like Evanidus is a bit confused. I don't know, maybe he hasn't done Hobo yet, or forgets that he's already done it?
I don't think he's been there yet, but I'm not 100% sure. Apparently he hasn't been there yet. I'd be surprised if he just forgot.
Hobo is actually giving out a thematically appropriate item now. Just like, I don't know, he probably just wants you to go buy him some cheap blue potion. Off-brand.
The off-brand knockoff. Alright, so Spooty is going to show us what is actually in Swamp Palace today, and also going to open up the Pyramid Fairy with that. And Evanidus is on his way to pick up his hammer.
Yeah, this seed is not really doing any favors to Evanidus. I mean, the falling off the ledge was kind of his own fault, but you know, if you see a trolley seed, I think a lot of players assume that it's just going to keep trolling you to no end. So I understand why Evanidus decided to dip into Swamp Palace. It's just incredibly slow to do so. So now that we're in a bit of a slow dungeon and Evanidus is just playing catch-up, I guess we could spend some time, try to calculate the pedestal hype index. So what can be on the pedestal? We have flute as an option. We have a medallion for Mire, if it's not Quake required. And that's it. So our pedestal hype index is sitting at a 2 right now. Oh, also Ice Rod.
Yeah, Ice Rod. Ice Rod is always a possibility.
So that's a 3.
Alright, so Evanidus finally grabbing his hammer and now checking what's happening here over in Turtle Rock, finding out that it's Quake as well. Oh man, there's a flute, so that removes one item from the pedestal hype index immediately.
Yeah, by itself, all it really opens up are a few items and desert. We still don't have the ability to get into Mire proper. Honestly, with the way the seed's been going, I'm very surprised we don't have Quake yet, and have these runners being sent into Turtle Rock without a Fire Rod.
Or an Ice Rod. Even though the Fire Rod definitely makes more of a difference as far as Turtle Rock goes, especially in the beginning of the dungeon.
We also get the book and the big key here in Swamp Palace, which is going to make clearing out the rest of the dungeon pretty easy. The book, like, we just got, you know, the flute, and that opened up the ability to get into desert, so really the only utility the book has is the 2 tablets, and checking what's on the pedestal.
Yeah, though, I was just thinking, what if the medallions are actually on the tablets?
Oh, goodness.
Because, I mean, for Spooty, it's not that bad of a check. At Bombo's, at least, since he's basically right there. And with the book that he just found, I'm sure he's thinking about it. And with the flute, he can also relatively easily get up to Death Mountain again, even though walking up that to the tablet is quite annoying.
Yeah, if we don't find anything else inside this Swamp Palace, I would be very surprised if Spooty doesn't go directly towards the Mire area and do desert. A big question mark, though. Butter Sword off of Argus. A big question, though, is does Spooty check the Bombo's tablet while we're in the area?
I think he will. I mean, I would, but that doesn't mean anything. But I think he would.
So,
Or he won't. Oh, robbed of an arrow.
Spooty also left at least one item in that Swamp Palace, making a mad dash to the pyramid. We did do Aghanim, and we do have the mirror, so it's gonna be quick to get to the pyramid, thankfully.
Yeah. I'm not sure about the left side skip.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do?
I mean, traditionally, the Pyramid Fairy hasn't been all that great, but we'll see if it maybe pays off for Spooty here.
It's been open relatively early. I know we're already an hour 10 into the seed, but you know, like in terms of progression, it's pretty early.
Okay.
Debated.
Yeah.
So progression inside either the left side of Swamp or in that big chest could be just a ticket for Evanidus to get back into this race.
Yeah, if he decides to turn around and go back in after he kills Argus, definitely he could make the difference here.
And as I said, Spooty's going to be going directly to activate our flute and be fluting directly to spot number 6.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, flute number 6, a really good choice. You get the Mire area itself, you get more information on which medallion you need, you get all of Desert, you have the boots, you have Fire Source, you get Checkerboard Cave. There's just a whole bunch of stuff over there that might hold the key to the rest of the seed.
Yep, and then as an added bonus, you get the knowledge of what medallion you need to find. Or, yeah, might already have. But in this case, none of them have medallions. With how stingy this seed has been in terms of medallions, it's surprising. I'd be surprised if it's not Quake, but it isn't. It's Bombos. So we still need 2 medallions, in addition to the 2 rods, and yeah, I guess that's it.
Okay. All right, Seed. Thanks for that.
Oh my goodness.
That, yeah, I'm sure Spooty's happy he immediately activated his flute and came over here, I'd say.
Yeah, Spooty was about as dumbfounded as we were, standing by the chest and doing some... I don't even want to call them frustration slashes, it's just like confusion slashes.
Yeah, that just doesn't happen.
We even got them in the order that they show up in the inventory, which is great.
Yeah, that couldn't have been better. First we get all those well-placed 300s everywhere, and now those 2 rods.
It's like the seed's apology.
Yeah, we'll see about that. We'll see about that.
So notably,
we did. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, notably, Evanidus is checking the left side here, or at least setting it up to do it later. I know some runners like to do that. So we'll probably be seeing what's inside. And we get silvers inside the big chest in Desert.
Alright, it's just getting better and better for Spooty. At even 1,000 rupees. That's gotta be what makes the difference here.
Yeah. You're not supposed to be able to have that much. Drop one of those. So yeah, it's just kind of weird that the seed is like, we have everything we need, in one way, but we can't get to where we need to go. Like, we still need 2 medallions, 2 items for go mode, and they're both medallions.
Did we find 2 items in here already? Or is there something on the ammo? Jeez, very nice fight. I guess we'll find out.
Oh, we found some bombs on landmos.
Oh, and Evanidus is checking the tablet.
Yeah.
Okay. Just more money.
Where can we go? SpootyBiscuit still has to check this checkerboard cave. Can't put him into go mode. We're still looking for 2 items. But outside of a potential pedestal troll, we
Skullwoods.
We found both the items in Skullwoods. So honestly, I think going to Skullwoods and completing it and getting that pedestal check-in is probably the way to go.
I'm thinking that, or you make the play in the Dependent Ice Palace.
Spooty does not know where he wants to go. I think Spooty just realized it too. I gotta do this anyway. It's not gonna get any faster. I have Butter Sword. I have Half Magic. I have a Fire Rod. I am a Mothiel murdering machine. And as an added bonus, I have that book and mirror, so I can just get a quick peek at what's inside that pedestal.
I mean, at this point, I don't know. I mean, we still got all of Ice Palace. We got... What else do we have? That's all we have, really, isn't it? A little bit of overworld stuff. I mean, the frog, the chest, Hammerpeg Cave.
Well, unfortunately, we already got our pedestal check from Evanidus, and it's just some money.
Rip.
Kind of wish it was a rupee hoard.
That would have been good. I was kind of wishing for a 300 to fall from the Bombwell's tablet.
I don't know, like I think there's 5 300s in this, right? We've seen at least 3.
I think we might have even seen all of them. I'm not sure if it's 4 or 5. I know they added 1, I believe, for the Waterfall of Wishing.
Evanidus is also pleased about the shack of rods.
I like the double take. He turned around again and was like, really? Did that just happen?
Oh my goodness, look at this. Look at this Mothula.
Oh man, very nice.
Didn't even get an attack off. That's what I like to see.
Alright, so now the decision for Spooty is... Well, he's going to check the pedestal, obviously, as you were saying. And then the decision is, do I check all the overworld stuff? Do I do the frog and the chest and maybe hammer pegs? Or do I go into Ice Palace?
I mean, it's a pedestal. We already know that the pedestal... Or it's a pendant. We already know the pedestal is not required. We already know the green pendant doesn't do anything. So it's 3 items versus 3 items. And one of the 3 items is a lot easier to check. Especially considering we have that flute on hand and mirror.
Yeah, I'd probably do the frog stuff before Ice Palace myself.
That's what Spooty's doing as well. Nobody wants to do Ice Palace, except weirdos. Chat saying Ice Palace is a coin museum.
Oh, he's going back for the TT big chest. Okay. I guess since he's already here, might as well.
This could be really good for Spooty, or pretty good for Evanidus. Evanidus has been more or less retracing Spooty's steps here for a bit. I mean, the seed has been kind of linear.
How did Spooty lose 2 rupees?
I don't know. Oh, it's probably from a picket.
Oh, okay.
Spooty got the God Pixel here in Hellway, but unfortunately, one of the Patrick Stars is in the way.
All right, I'm really curious about this. It's quite a walk back here to that big chest for just one item. In a pendant dungeon, no less.
Yeah. For the sake of the race, I hope there's nothing good here, and that Evanidus just never comes back here. But again, Evanidus is behind, so he might be wanting to, take more gambles like this, and yeah, it's just a capacity upgrade for bombs.
Yeah, not worth the time.
And unsurprisingly, Spooty's going to be grabbing the dwarf here, Jeremiah, and doing Peg Cave. It looks like Spooty was going to do Peg Cave first, but I guess forgot that he didn't actually do this.
Yeah, I remembered the frog just in time. Alright, so Evanidus also grabbed his silvers from the big chest here in Desert. Just gonna check checkerboard, which had nothing. Oh, and there's Bombos.
So it looks like... I mean, I'm not going to call it just yet, but it looks like this was the play to make instead of Ice Palace. Like, Quake could still easily be in there, but Spooty's definitely going to be heading off to Mire unless we get Quake like right now.
Yeah, even then I'd expect him to go to Mire first, but still, it's not quite off the hook yet, but we might never see Ice Palace.
The problem is, Spooty is not going to be doing the purple chest. And that could be interesting.
Yeah, though, I think once Evanidus gets here and gets Bombos, he'll probably not do purple chests either. Especially not if he feels behind. Well, I don't know. Hard to say.
Spooty was trying to get a bird toss in, but unfortunately, it looks like the ice rod just kills the bird instead of freezing it.
Yes, no mercy for birds.
I think he gets points for trying.
Yeah, I'm very pleased that he thought of it just for our entertainment.
So for the sake of Evanidus, I really hope that purple chest has Quake, and that he actually, goes to turn it in.
Yeah, that would probably be best case scenario for Evanidus. If Quake is here in Mire, it's probably game over. And if it is indeed an Ice Palace,
yeah. In terms of progression, Evanidus hasn't been too far behind Spooty for the past while. The only problem is... Oh, there it is. Never mind.
Okay.
Go mode.
Go mode.
Anyway, the only problem is Evanidus is also two crystals behind. As we see, he's going off to finish off Helmasaur.
Yeah, both of the dungeons, or both of the crystals that he's behind, are dungeons that he is basically cleared out before. But it's still going to cost him quite a bit of time to get back to the bosses and kill them and all that stuff.
Yeah. And Spooty has the dream of being able to actually do Turtle Rock last. mean, Evanidus will have the same thing, because you literally can't get into Go mode, or get into Turtle Rock before Go mode.
Isn't the real dream, though, to do Hera last?
That's another thing I think is for weirdos.
Yeah, I mean, I've never really gotten the opportunity, because usually Hera is open so early on that you just have no choice but to, do it.
Yeah. Or it's like, even if it's a pendant dungeon, you still kind of want to do it. It's really short. And often has value.
Mm-hmm. Alright, Spooty is down to 4 hearts. I'm not sure. He used his blue goo in Thieves Town a long while ago. I'm not sure what else he got.
Yeah, but we do have silvers, and that's gonna make Vitreous pretty easy.
Yeah, with the silvers, it shouldn't be a problem. Just on the off chance that he gets one of his lightnings off.
Oh yeah, they did find a red potion at some point.
Oh, okay. That's not so bad then.
But honestly, I'd like to keep that for Ganon's Tower, especially without powder.
Yeah. You probably prefer to have a blue goo. I mean, with the flute, it's not a huge waste of time to go and buy some stuff. But, everything that costs time is something you want to avoid.
Yeah, especially in this group stage, we have had some pretty close races. And, I mean, again, these guys, like, it's already, they're already eliminated from the bracket consideration. But you still want to get a win. And, I mean, Spooty is 0-2, Evanidus is 1-2, so at least neither of these runners, unless like something disastrous happens on Spooty's side, will go home with, that big goose egg in 4.
Yeah, getting at least one win and at least feels good. You don't want to go out 0 and whatever.
So good for Evanidus. He's gonna be grabbing that Bombos here. Not even bothering with the frog.
Yeah. I mean, that's gonna be good for him.
Yeah, but there's still 2 items there, and you still need 1 more. Do you just chance it? I mean, we know the correct answer is yes, but Evanidus doesn't know that.
Looks like he definitely wants to chance it, though. Make his way over to Meyer immediately. And once he grabs that Quake, he is also in go mode, so he's just going to be looking for the big key, and he's basically, he still has to finish Skullwood, so that's another little bit of time that he's behind. Otherwise, I was going to say he's pretty much a dungeon behind at this point, but with Skullwoods.
Yep, like a dungeon and a half. And the climb up to Turtle Rock. Doing Turtle Rock last is a blessing and a curse. It's nice. It's like kind of relaxing, especially, at this point you probably have like either Tempered or Butter Sword. You probably have at least Blue or Red Mail. You'll usually have Powder, but we don't have that right now. so it's not hard. Like, nothing in this dungeon is that hard when you're properly equipped. The downside is that it's just really slow, and there's not really many ways to speed it up.
Yeah, it's just long and a slog, and really the only thing you can hope for in Go mode versus not in Go mode is being able to skip the laser bridge. But
Yeah.
that just depends on if you find that extra small key beforehand or not.
Mm-hmm. And there is a gamble that some runners like to do by skipping the big chest, though that actually can cause problems sometimes. I forget which race it was. It was recent, where somebody did that exact thing. Like, they skipped that big chest and ended up having to go all the way back.
Oh yeah, that hurts. Oh,
Spooty is also in danger of getting hugged by these.
Why?
That was interesting.
I guess he just wanted to get out without dying, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, it was really close. Did Spooty forget to check this chest?
Oh, okay.
He did.
Well, that makes a little more sense. Still would have preferred the Death Warp here, then.
That is some bizarre routing. Because even if, there was a key inside that chest, that doesn't mean that there's not a key in that chest he skipped over.
Yeah. I don't know.
So Spooty is, I think, out of safeties. We have 3 bottles, one of which was the blue, which you said Spooty used earlier on. I don't know what was in the 3rd bottle, so it's entirely possible we do have another potion on our hands.
Chat was saying that Spooty still has a fairy in a bottle, but I don't remember them picking one up. I think they picked up a bee, I want to say.
I calculated it once, the odds of at least one being a bottle in a seed, and it was something like, I don't know, 47%. Or something stupid like that.
The first Key Sanity seed that I ever played had 4 bees in a bottle for all 4 bottles.
That's how you know the seed is, it's a good seed.
Mm-hmm. It also had a required small Ice Palace key on the pedestal, so...
So, interestingly enough, despite skipping that first chest, Spooty lost his taste for gambling and actually checking the big chest there.
Yeah, he is hoping for that second key here. And the laser bridge, I think.
Yep, nowhere else it can be. Whereas Evanidus clearing Misery Mire, now also in Go mode. But again, still need to go to Skull Woods, still need to even make our way to Turtle Rock. So Spooty has to have some real trouble for Evanidus to come back right now.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Spooty is basically in Ganon's Tower already. There's the small key, so doesn't even have to go very far.
Dashing right into that pokey.
Yep, I just had to do that swag dash with the cane. interestingly not deciding to go for the backdoor strats here. So not going to be a 0 cycle, but still not that big of a deal, obviously.
Yeah, might as well just play it safe. Not even doing the spin attacks, which is interesting.
Interesting strategy. I mean, with only 3 slashes, not that big of a deal, but still.
So, now that we have our 7th crystal, would you like to do the honors? And I'll type the command.
Sure. Well, guys, you know what's up now. We're on our way over to Ganon's Tower. And as Spooty is making his way over there, we like to guess where the big key is. There is locations 1 to number 22 that you have to guess. Please by number, if you so can. And if you are a subscriber or have donated up to 250 bits, or 250 bits exactly, on any of the speed gaming channels, you have a chance to participate in a spot on the leaderboards, or participate for a spot on the leaderboards.
I actually got my number in.
Congrats! I know that we guessed the same number, so if you do win, I'll just count it as a win for myself.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, what?
Spooty is going for maximum meme here.
It is the tile room, ladies and gentlemen.
This is great.
I mean, why not? But how the seed started out. Oh, and Evanidus hitting the wrong peg. For Turtle Rock. I don't know when the last time was I've seen anyone hit the pegs in the wrong order up here.
Yeah, and Tile Room just has a small key, which I think is earmarked for Terra's Memorial Door.
Time to refill here for Spooty.
That is number 7.
Is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, it is.
Wow. I can't believe it.
I am flabbergasted.
Dude. Got it right.
How undeserving. Also, by the way, while I'm ragging on him, thanks to the dude for tracking for us here today.
Yep. So yeah, we've got a outside of that tile room check, this is going to be a pretty fast Ganon's Tower. Spooty is abusing iframes here in the Ganon Ball Z room, which is a nice strat. I really like it. Also with the half magic, using the fire rod here instead of silvers.
Yeah, which is, you get a full magic refill at the very end, and these guys are a lot easier to kill with fire rod. Oh yeah, that was a nice room here for these horsehead guys.
I wonder what that shovel leads to.
Me too. I've been wondering that ever since Spooty found it.
Yeah, this seed, you know, I don't know. I don't know if I'd call it trolly. It seemed like it had a sense of humor.
That shovel. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
But the thing is, we're missing like so many fetch quest items, and that shovel could activate a chain that leads nowhere. And like it could just give like a shield upgrade.
I thought it was especially intriguing because Spooty got it, and then he had that weird little thing where he mirrored out because of the chain chomps. And I was like, are you going back for the shovel spot? That would have been just the ultimate troll.
Oh goodness. It should have been like, you dig up the mushroom with the shovel, you give the mushroom to the witches for vanilla powder, and then the magic bat just gives you the 300 rupees.
The last 300 rupees in the seed.
Cursed to carry this money.
Oh man. Alright, Spooty's stopping for nothing here. Oh,
Don't
troll dorm too. Oh.
Seed has one last left here in the form of Troll Dorm. Get your think dorms out, everybody.
There we go.
And the last chest has the map. It tells you how to get here.
It's pretty good. It's like, alright, you go to the left here, and then you go up the stairs, and then you're there.
Ooh.
Oh wow, nice triple.
Yeah, not even close. That was just magnificent.
Immediately gets trolled by a blue ball though.
Yeah. But a nice double to sort it out at the end. Only 3 cycles.
Yeah, very nice, extremely quick. And now with the butter sword and silvers in hand, half magic as well, this kind of fight shouldn't be a problem at all. I think he still has that fairy in a bottle and a red goo, so he's definitely good on hearts.
Evanidus tried to do the 0 cycle strat for Trinex here. He's getting a little bodied by it though. We do have half magic, so I don't think it's going to be much of a problem. We also have a blue potion, which I hope Evanidus is going to use like right now. Please,
oh my god.
Please do it. Don't
Can't use it now as long. Oh.
Don't make me beg it.
Alright. We're through. Oh nope, he's gonna snap again. Oof.
So
Spooty is starting his third phase on Ganon.
Oh, he might have a fairy. That's what chat says.
Yeah, I think he still has the fairy as well, but still.
Alright. So
think about all the frames he's losing right now with the refill.
It's true. Spooty's already just about done. Heading into the last phase of Ganon right now. Just 4 quick hits with silvers and
oh, this looks great. Oh, very nice.
A nice triple to finish it off.
Alright, just as Evanidus is making his way over to Ganon's tower.
Yep, good game to Spooty. And yeah, we'll see if we can get Spooty in here for some commentary. Looks like he's already here in the waiting room, so I guess we'll bring him in.
Yeah, GG. His official SRL time was 1 hour 44 minutes and 50 seconds.
Well, good game.
Yeah, good game.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, I kind of went in, knowing that I was more or less out of the tournament at this point. So, just kind of went with the mindset of I'm just gonna take lots of insane gambles, just see if they pay out. Kind of have fun with it, hang loose. And yeah, that seed kind of threw me for a loop with that Zora having cape. Like, when it got down to the point where I knew Zora had my progression, I was like, just please, anything but the cape. Anything but the cape. Like, that's what the last thing I want to see. And then, of course, it was.
Yeah, we were, or at least I was hoping pretty heavily for like the hammer on Catfish. Because both you and Evanidus skipped out on it for a while.
Yeah, I kind of felt like when so much of the rest of the world opened up, that Catfish was kind of low priority, so I never went for it. But and I'm also really disappointed to learn, I didn't know this, that Ice Rod does not let you bird toss.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was sad. We were saying we give you credit for trying, though, at least.
Get some swag points that you could redeem at your local speed gaming outlet.
Yep, absolutely. You probably didn't really notice this because as you're racing a seed, you don't really pay attention to stuff like that, but we're noticing that the 300 rupee items were placed very strategically in the most trolly spots possible.
Yeah, definitely saw that going on.
Well, one of them was beneficial that it got you into Palace of Darkness to actually get that mirror, but I was actually kind of hoping for a bit of a red herring in Palace of Darkness that would just send you off on a wild goose chase while Catfish.
I was so ready to go to Catfish because I had no money going into the Dark World, and then there were 300 in the pyramid, and I'm like, oh, well, okay, change of plans. If the pyramid's just gonna give me my pod money, I guess I may as well go there.
Yeah, we were wondering if either of you realized that you didn't have the Palace of Darkness money going into Aghanim.
Yeah, I fully knew that. My plan was just to do Catfish, and if I didn't get any money at Catfish, then I'd just go Houlihan or something. Houlihan or the Desert Money Cave. Whichever.
Yeah, this seed in particular is one of the ones where doing Houlihan early to get the money and doing that early Zora play would have really paid off.
Yeah, to an extent, but I still kind of feel like, when all you have is Fighter Sword and, Magic Cape, that Aghanim's pretty low on the priority list, and you're ultimately probably going to be full clearing Light Overworld before doing Aghanim either way. It would have been nice to, just go straight into Aghanim, while I was checking Escape. If I had done Zora first, I could have done that, but it's what it is.
How did you feel about the Meyer Shed today?
I just kind of had to pause for a moment and marvel at that Meyer Shed. It was a thing.
What made it even better for us was that just maybe 5 seconds before that happened, Rubel was saying, yeah, basically all we're looking for is the medallions and the 2 rods. And then it's like, doodle it down, and we're like, what just happened?
Yeah. A bit of a commentator's blessing, I guess. We need Fiesel to make that emote. What else was there? I mean, outside of that, the seed was kind of just goading you off into directions, and really they all ended up turning out to be the correct directions. Once you actually got into the Dark World, you had to do Palace of Darkness, you had no other option except for Catfish. once you had Palace of Darkness, you got the mirror, and that led you to Hera. You had literally no other option except for, Catfish. And, like, it just kept going like that. Like, you kept getting, like, this steady drip of items. I don't know, do you like seeds like that, or do you like them more when they're, like, more wide open and you can just choose where to go and make gambles like that?
I'm when it comes to random, I'm a bit of a gambling man. I like having the opportunity to go for those ridiculous plays, and I had it work out ridiculously well in my match against Zadox, but the rest of the seed was just so gosh darn trolly, it ended up not really getting me anywhere. Like with the early swamp check without hammer, that sort of thing. But ultimately, ultimately on that note, I pretty much I'm pretty cool with any seed as long as it's not like the one I had with Zadox, because that was probably the most painful match I've ever played.
Yeah, Evanidus actually did go back into, or did go into Swamp without the hammer.
I contemplated that. It was there, the flippers popped up, and it's like, well, Swamp's right there, but I also know mitts are right on the island, and, I think getting mitts over gambling on a single chest in Swamp Palace is, I like gambling, but that's a little much for me.
Right. Yeah, and Swamp is just really slow to open. It looks like Evanidus is opting to finish egging him off with swag after taking a death. I mean,
that's the only way to do it.
Yeah, why didn't we see a swag net from you? I mean, we did see the absolute top meme in the form of what was it called? The tile room.
Yeah. As again, just me going for gambles. Like, I found the small key, and that usually means I go right side. And then I see tile room, and I'm like, you know what? Let's just go for it. Let's just do early tile room. See what happens. And yeah, hey, it got me a small key. Saved me the trip into the conveyor hallway. Clearly worth it, right?
Yeah. Chat was suggesting that it was collusion or a gentleman's agreement. But we did see Evanidus skipped over it. So, I guess anything else? I mean, you still have one more race, or I don't even think that's on the schedule yet.
Yeah, got a match against McLagging. We'll schedule it later, probably on Thursday. But yeah, had fun with this race. Looking forward to the next one.
Cool. That's a good attitude to have, especially if you're, especially if there's already 2 people in your group that are set to advance. And
yeah, it's nice. There's no pressure at this point. Whatever happens in these matches happens. It's all good for a good time.
Evanidus is about to finish off Ganon here as well. Getting a little trouble, not getting the torch glitch, not that it matters a lot, but now the torches are a bit out of sync.
Yeah, I think this was actually my first time I've ever gotten a triple on Ganon. It was pretty satisfying.
Yeah, that was really nice.
I don't think I've ever seen it. I mean, maybe I have, I just have a really bad memory.
Alright, Evanidus also finishing up here. So
we got
the moonwalk strats here.
We got the swag net moonwalk strats through the door. I think that cuts a full 10 minutes off Evanidus' time, and unfortunately, that's gonna put you in second place. Sorry.
Well, that's okay. I can, I can concede to him. He wins the meme competition today.
But yeah, let's see if Evanidus wants to join us here. So despite all the trolls, I mean, you guys both finished under 2 hours, and Evanidus had that problem with the Haunted Grove ledge. So, like, the seed was evil, but it was still kind of fast.
Yeah, it didn't feel especially trolly. It just held out on the medallions for a very long time, and it really kind of railroaded you guys for a very long time in the beginning.
I don't know if Evanidus is going to be doing an interview or not. I see he's in the speed gaming chat talking about the seed, so I'm going to assume Evanidus does not want to do an interview. So, so yeah, so to talk about the rest of the tournament, we have one more match in the main tournament today. Penguin Puff versus I Am the Schwartz. This is actually a pretty important match for Penguin Puff in particular because let's look at the thing. In Group A, Hyung92 has 4 wins, 0 losses, and then Act the Boker and Mr. Barry Bonds are the runners-up currently with 2-2 ratings. Penguin Puff is 1-2 and is racing against I Am the Schwartz, who is 0-3. And if Penguin Puff wins this match, then there will be a 3-way tiebreaker in Group A to get that second spot. And then tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern Time, we have El Magus versus Prior, which is another interesting match for El Magus, because El Magus desperately needs to win this to get into another, I believe, 3-way tie. And then later on at 8 p.m. we have Amazing Ampharos versus ACM LM, and ACM's second match in the group stage. Let's see. Let's see, is there anything on the secondary tournament that's happening today?
That is a good question.
Yes, there is. We have one. Actually, no, we don't have anything today. There are races tomorrow at 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. and also at 7:30 p.m. on the Link to the Past Randomizer 1, 2, and 3 in that order. But none today. So pretty much just now we have, like, just coming up, like, right now, we have one more race. Anything we need to add, Herfy, before we sign off?
No, I think we're pretty good, right?
Yep. And if you liked what you saw from these racers, please give them a follow. If you liked Herfy Durfy's commenting, please give him a follow. And if you liked the dude's tracking, I guess give him a follow. I don't know if he tracks on his own stream. I would assume not. But
just a huge tracker, 1080p.
Yeah, it's just like
slowly tracking items over 2 hours. Well, anyway.
But yeah, I'm Ruble, and I've been joined by...
I've been Herfy Durfy. Please also follow Ruble on his channel, and thanks to him, of course, for commentating with me. Thanks again to the guys here for the nice race. Good luck on the races that you still have left, even if it's just for fun. And I hope you guys have a great night.
Yep, see you guys.
Bye-bye.